If you're listening to this in real time, then we are in the midst of a 31-day TikTok challenge in my Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/audience and authority. And we would love it if you'd come join us too. It is totally free. This is not because I am a TikTok master. I do not claim that, but I do say that the reason I have been so successful on social media is because I play, I experiment, I look at the analytics and see what works, and then I rinse and repeat. And I've done that for my clients. I've done that for myself. I want to help you do that too for yourself. So come join us on this 31-day TikTok challenge in the Facebook group. Every day I'm making at least one TikTok, probably several, and then I'm sharing what's working, what's not, what new features did I learn, what am I learning from the platform in real time, and I'm going to be sharing that in the group. I'm thinking about also putting a podcast version of that as well, so you can look and listen out for that. But I would love for you to come and join us so you can get that accountability, community, and support as you continue to grow your own social media community. Can't wait to see you there. Hello and welcome to the Social Media Magic Podcast, the perfect podcast for TPT sellers, teacherpreneurs, and teacher business owners who consider themselves to be introverts. Each episode shares all kinds of ideas, tips, tactics, and strategies to help you make more sales and grow your community on social media. Without further ado, let's get on to today's episode. Hello, group members and podcast listeners. Welcome back to the Social Media Magic Podcast, or to the group. I'm the host of this group and of this show, Brittany Vilanich. I am so glad you're here. Today, I'm actually going double back. You might have noticed a day was missing from the TikTok challenge. I did the TikTok challenge for myself, but I did not post up here. And that was honestly because I felt horrible yesterday. But there's a lesson in that, and I want to share that with you. Whenever I'm just not feeling my best optimal self, whether because of health or just because of mood, something happens, I try to think, what is the absolute bare minimum ABM that I could do today and still make an impact? And I try to do at least 3 things every day. I try to read a little bit every day now. That's something that's really important for me in 2023. I create a little bit every day, whether that's long form content like a blog post, a YouTube video, or a podcast episode. And then how can I help someone every day? Right now, I'm really focusing on this TikTok challenge, but some other ways I help people are in the DMs if people have questions, or people might find me on Facebook, or maybe I'm networking with someone in a Facebook group. And even if someone doesn't end up buying one of my products or working with me, I do want them to have some kind of value in connecting with me. And so I always try to see, how can I help people? We left off on day 6, and I want to say that doing this taught me something. I just taught you about the bare minimum, ABM, absolute bare minimum. But there's also an important aspect of, if you can, planning ahead and then also batching. You might have heard some TPT coaches or just other marketing people, content marketing people talk about batching, and that just means creating more than one of whatever it is. So if you're creating resources on TPT, you might create 4 resources in a product line all at the same time, back to back, and that prevents context switching, which is when your brain is trying to figure out what kind of task are you doing, what category or bucket does it fall in, and then just the switching between different tasks and kind of tasks can be kind of exhausting. So when you group all of those together, like recording 5 episodes instead of recording a podcast episode, and then writing a blog post, and then writing a social media post, instead of doing that, batching all kinds of tasks together, because 1, you get more efficient just because you're repeating the same task over and over again, but 2, you get more of whatever the thing is out at one time, as opposed to hoping that you release a podcast episode next week if you're doing a week-by-week show. And this is especially important and helpful for teachers because teachers are so strapped for time. If you know you don't have a lot of time during the week to record a podcast episode or write a blog post or do your social media reels or any kind of short form video, what can you do to do more than one at one time? It's going to make you more efficient, and this is also really helpful if you're thinking you might want to hire out, whether you're hiring me or someone else for something else. The more you do something and get better at it and pay attention to how long does it take you to do X task? What are all the micro tasks I need to do in this one step to be able to get this thing produced and finished? The better idea you're going to have of how much per hour you need to pay someone, how many hours will that person need to work to be able to get that task done, or maybe they'll know of some tools to make things quicker, or they'll be better and more efficient. Maybe it'll actually be less than you think. Just some things to think about. Someday you're going to have a day where you don't feel like reading anything. So if you can, try to batch at least more than one thing at the same time. So that way, on the days you don't feel like creating, on the days where you have to lay in for a migraine or whatever, I have had this pain in my ears, it's like awful lately, then you have content backed up. And that was something that I wasn't really ready for TikTok. I did get the video out, but I didn't have enough recordings here. So that was just another little lesson for me. And then with that, anytime you're trying to build a habit, try not to miss 2 days or more in a row, because it's really hard to get back in the game of anything after you've not been doing it for 3 days. So I hope that was helpful for you. I can't wait to see the TikToks you made. Oh, and then feature. I forgot to mention the feature I used. So today I played a little bit with recording actually in Instagram. I used the green screen filter. So I had some graphics in the background and I was like pointing and using that almost like a green screen. And so I was pointing to different analytics, which one builds my social proof. People see, okay, I manage big social media accounts. I know what I'm doing. So there's that kind of little subconscious message. But two, it helps me actually use a visual aid in what I'm talking about. So go watch that TikTok if you want to see what I mean. I recorded it in Instagram as a story. I downloaded it. I uploaded it as a video clip in TikTok using the studio for TikTok. I know that's really hard without the visual, but when you're playing around in TikTok, you'll see on the right-hand side, you have a toolbar that you can kind of swipe up and down. Go to where it says studio. You can upload other clips there, okay? And I use whatever platform gives me the best features. I have noticed lately that TikTok videos have like kind of a fuzzier video quality. That might be my internet. I don't know. Let me know. Which do you think has better quality? If you're not in the Facebook group already, come and join us. Share what you've got. We're facebook.com/groups/audience and authority, or you can find me on Instagram over at Brittany for Lunch. Talk soon.